There's a farm in Monroe County, West Virginia, nestled in the foothills of Ellison's Ridge, located along the Ellison Ridge Road. It has been in the same family for generations. This piece of land has been farmed through all these generations, but now the present owner faces the destruction of the farm. The destruction has arrived in the form of a 42-inch natural gas pipeline. The workers come from other states, Texas, Utah, and many other states. A big corporation interested only in money. Destruction begins by splitting through the hayfield, and the owner can only stand by and watch because they've taken the land by eminent domain. The owner stands at a distance watching, with tears in their eyes, as they see what has existed for centuries destroyed in a few days. The owner has lovingly cared for this farm their entire life. It is a part of them, and they are part of it. Knowing now it will never be the same, it is like watching the death of a family member. This is not the only farm suffering this destruction. There are many along the 300-mile corridor. Even nature cries out because of the destruction of the land and water. Mud and silt washing into the waterways, destroying the creatures who exist there. The destruction is not just to this one farm, but to the land on down below the farm. Mud and sediment washes on downstream into the branches, ponds, and creeks, and eventually getting to wells and springs. As you can see here, how it is washing into the pond nearly a quarter-mile down the road from the farm. Here at the construction site is where the wash-off begins. The pipeline is being laid straight across the middle of the farm, splitting it in two. This was once a hayfield and a pasture field. At this point, it crosses from one side of the road to the other. The land on both sides of the road belongs to the same farm. The farm is being destroyed on both sides of the road. On this side is a steep slope where the runoff occurred. Here you see the topsoil piled to the right and the other soil and rock to the left. None of this can be put back like it originally was. Silt fences which never hold when hard rains come. After hard rain, silt-filled water nearly to the top of the fence and seeping underneath. Days later, the water is still standing here, seeping out underneath the silt fence. Here you can see where it seeped under the fence and going out down into the branch. This is where the pipeline crosses the road. Blasting occurred here for the pipeline trench to be dug. Huge rocks and dirt that were dug up from the field. They've started the digging of the trench on this side of the farm. The trench is dug on the other side of the farm, and this trench is around 10 feet deep. A close-up of the trench shows the depth. What this field looks like now is sad compared with what it looked like before. Pipes are now laid out beside the trench to soon be welded and laid in the trench. More pipe laid up the steep slope of the farm. Yes, everyone in the blast area will go with the flow if it explodes. This was once a beautiful pasture field. No longer. It now looks like a disaster area. This pasture field, this farm, will never be the same. It's now split in half with a 42-inch natural gas pipeline. What once looked like this now looks like this. As the passing away of this farm comes to a close, what comes next? These pipes are coated with a protective epoxy coating, 3M Scotch Coat Fusion Bonded Epoxy 6233. Causes: cancer, birth defects, or other reproductive harm, and other potential health problems. Solvents are present in the coating, which leach out into water. Then when these pipes are coated with this epoxy, buried in the ground, what we can look forward to is chemicals in our water supply. We will drink them, bathe in them, and wash clothes and dishes in them. Our animals will be drinking them. Time only will tell what health problems we will experience. Oh, and don't forget the blast zone. Many will be living in the blast area, living in danger of being annihilated if this 42-inch pipe were to explode, which, as we have seen, has happened to many smaller pipelines in the last several years. As the sun sets on this Monroe County farm, it will never be the same, and neither will the people own it, or the neighbors who live near it. The farm is gone, and a way of life is sinking into the sunset, and will be gone forever.